Hi, my name is Ajiboye Temitope Oluwatami, and this is Code Clan Pod, a podcast where you have your tech news, reviews, and interviews from software industry beginners and experts on their software development journeys. And welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of Code Clan Interviews. In this season, we will be interviewing various guests ranging from beginners to experts in the software industry. We'll be talking about their journey and how they went into tech and how they survived. In today's episode, we interview a member of the Code Clan Nigeria, and she is a mentee and she is also a student. In today's episode, you will learn about her whole journey, how she entered into tech, and how she is coping so far. Please listen. Welcome to the very first podcast of the Code Clan Pod. And today we have a guest with us. Her name is she's going to introduce herself in a bit. So what we are doing in this episode is to interview a couple of guests to understand her and their journey into tech and how they are going to inspire upcoming developers on their journey. So please welcome Jennifer. Hello.
Hello guys. My name is Opodiloluchi Jennifer, but people know me as Kisha, and I'm a nursing science student in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Anambra State, and I'm a newbie developer. I'm aspiring to be a
Okay.
developer.
Okay. So can you tell us a bit about how you dived into tech? Is it something that you are forced into or you are really, really interested in?
Well, I would say I wasn't forced into tech at all because let me just say I picked interest in tech in 2016 when my brother was designing websites with WordPress on Fiverr.
Okay.
So what he will do is that if he gets a job, he will outsource it to me. Then I will design the WordPress website. Then I will deliver to him. Then he will do some revisions. After which he will pay me. But he always gives me the easy jobs because as of then I just had a very little knowledge of HTML and CSS, but I could use WordPress very well. So that's it. And I learned HTML and CSS using SoloLearn app. That was the very first app I used to learn it. So that's it.
So you learned HTML CSS using the SoloLearn app, right?
Yes, I did.
Is the app on Play Store, or is it a web app, or is it Play Store?
Okay, you can find it on Google Play Store. It's on Play Store.
Okay, it's on Play Store. So, you said you're a student at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, how do you cope with being a nursing student and learning how to code?
Well, honestly, it's not easy. Like, it hasn't been easy at all because nursing sciences in the university is very, very tough. Okay, because I normally I go to school by, sometimes I have 7 o'clock lectures.
Alright.
I come back around 5 p.m. in the evening. So I don't even have time to myself most times because I'm at school all through the day. Okay, so when I get back, of course, it's only normal that I'm very, very exhausted. But then what I normally do is if I just take 1 hour break, that's for from 5 p.m. to 6 is 1 hour. Then the next 1 hour, I'll try and make my meal, like my dinner, because lunch has already passed. So it's just dinner. So after I make my dinner, then from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I try to see what I can do, what I can code. Then once it's 10 o'clock or probably 11 o'clock, from 8 to 11, I try to code. So once it's 11 o'clock, I go to bed. Then I wake up around 3 a.m. in the morning to read. So I read from 3 a.m. to, let's say, 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Then I'll say my morning prayers and I'll prepare and I go to. So that's how I have like this very strict routine. So most times I don't even have time for myself, except when maybe I close early from school, like when I'm done with the lectures for the day, or when I have a lecture free day, because sometimes I do have lecture free days. So that's how, but it's not easy because at times you'll be so tired to even do anything. You'll be so tired. Yes.
So basically, you, according to your timelines that you have analyzed, basically you spend like an average of 2 hours every day learning how to code, right?
Yes, that's what I do.
Okay. So also, I want to ask you that: have you done what was your biggest coding project that you have ever done?
My biggest coding project. Well, let me not lie you. I don't really have this very biggest project that I've done. Like I've coded from scratch. But
it's possible that it doesn't have to be the biggest, like the most daunting,
challenging.
Yes, that's your
okay. When I started learning JavaScript with this book, this PDF, you don't know JavaScript. I actually learned. I learned some things, even though it was very, very confusing, very, very confusing. But I tried to build this website. It wasn't really beautiful per se, but at least I got some knowledge from it. But there was also this particular website that I did for a client, but then that was with WordPress. It was very, very, very challenging for me. But at the end of the day, I delivered the task and he gave me a $50 tip for doing it. So,
oh wow. So that's wonderful. If I am a newbie that is coming into tech, what would be your advice on the languages? Okay, if I want to be a web developer, for example, what would be your advice for me? Where should I start from? How should be my path to becoming a web developer?
Well, your path. Everybody have different learning capabilities.
Yes.
But yes, the path that most people go through is from HTML to CSS. And maybe they learn a framework like maybe Bootstrap or Start. Okay. Then they go to JavaScript or Python, any programming language of their choice. But there are some people that actually learn JavaScript and what's it called? C++, maybe. Okay. Even before they start learning HTML and CSS. Okay. So it all depends on what you can do.
Okay, so let me personalize it now. So what was your path to becoming a web developer? What were those things that you learned in sequential order?
Okay. First of all, I went for HTML. Okay. Like I said, I was learning it with SoloLearn app. Okay. So what I do is after each practice, I will go because I have this editor too that you can practice some things that you learn. So I will go there. I will try to build up something that looks like a small blog post. Then after that, I went on to CSS and I started filing it. The first time I actually styled it and I showed my brother. Like, he laughed at me, even though he actually urged me on and encouraged me. But siblings now, we yapped ourselves. But he was
Yeah.
like, "You're getting it right, and you're doing good. You should just continue." So that was how I went on. This very first day, I made my full, like, HTML and I think Tayo, I think that was when you gave us the challenge on Code Clan. One certain time like that, you
Oh,
challenged us. Yes, yes. You added 5,000 naira, and as of that period, I wanted to buy a modem, and I was down with cash. Like, I didn't have enough money, so you challenged us to build a one-page kitchen recipe website. Okay,
yeah, I
I think that
remember.
was the first time I used HTML and CSS, like, from scratch. Like, I did everything from scratch. I didn't even go online to start for code. I kept killing myself. Like, I made sure that I've learned it and I know all these ones and what each and every one of them represents and what they do. So I think
Okay.
that was the first one. And when I won, God, I was so excited. I I called my brother, I called my sister. I told them, Jesus Christ, in the midst of guys, like, I won this fight. I was not even looking at the money because I was super duper excited because I needed the money because I wanted to buy my modem because I was tired of sharing hotspots. I always run out of data, and to be subscribing all the time was really hard for me. So
I, I I remember that you were really excited
I was.
when you won.
I
You were
was.
really,
One guy even had to comment because of 5K. Oh, but he did not understand. I
yeah.
don't think he did. So that's the
All right.
that's
So,
the part I showed them. So now I'm actually learning JavaScript. I'm trying to learn
uh,
it in depth. All thanks to
okay.
you too, because
Uh, uh,
you.
so, so I want to ask also that uh, was it uh, was it the challenge that you made your first 1,000 coding, or did you do? Or what was the very first project that you did that you got a monetary value for your codes?
Okay. Before that challenge,
Okay.
I told you I was working on Fiverr with my brother, and he
Okay.
outsourced jobs
Okay.
to me. So yes, that was during that period. That was when I made my first $400. Okay, I was flying on the
Uh,
air. Like, you needed to see me that
that's a
period.
lot of
He was,
money.
I think that was in my 100 level. Like, I was feeling so fly because when I converted it to naira equivalent, it was like 100 and something thousand naira. So imagine me for still student 100 and something. Ha! Omo, I was so excited. I felt really good. You understand? So that was my first
Yeah.
year. But I'm yet to end from the scratch, coding from the scratch. But I know that one day I will definitely start earning
Okay.
some money.
So, what's your future plan? Since you're a nursing student, I believe that
Yeah.
one day you become a nurse. So, as you
Yeah.
are learning how to code on the side, what is your plans like? Are you planning to become a full-time software developer, or you want to be a nurse and then write codes for fun?
Hmm. Wow. I want to be enough. Well, I actually I care about people a lot. Like, it's in my
Okay.
nature. It's in my nature because I care so much. Sometimes my siblings be like, "This girl, you care a lot. This person is even bullshitting you and you're here giving her space, you know?" So it's actually my nature to care about people. So I love nursing as a profession. But
Okay.
nursing is very, 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 very restrictive. Like, there are some things you can't do that me as a girl I love doing. I
Okay.
enjoy coding because most times I'm indoors, like indoors doing nothing. In fact, it got to the extent that my mom had to tell me to go out. You know, when your mom start pushing you out of the house as a girl, then you know that something is really up. So most times I'm indoor. My mom will now be the one to tell me, I go out and chill with your friends. Now why are you always here every day? She started calling me a house rat at some point
Ah,
because because I'm always indoor. So during that period, I think that because for the fact that I can actually sit down one place for a very long amount of time, that was one of the reasons why I picked up interest in coding. But
okay.
aside from that, I love, like, it gives me this very superpower feeling. You know when you
So
just
you have like two shoulder pads on your shoulder.
I swear, like it's not as if I'm wearing shoulder pads. Especially when I add a new feature. Let's say I make something slide. No, no. Like let's say I make
Yeah.
an image slide or grayscale or something like that. It transitions. Oh my god! And it's really looking very beautiful. I just feel like I've given life to this thing from nothing. So it gives me this supernatural, in fact, this super girl kind of feeling. That's why I love coding. You understand? Apart from the fact that it gives me joy anytime I'm coding and I'm really understanding it and I'm
Yeah.
grabbing the concept, I feel so happy. Especially when I now run the code and the thing works. Ha! In fact, I'll be flying over the moon. So that's just it about nothing and programming for me. Nothing restricts me. Because me, I want to fix my nails. Oh. Um, I want to spray my hair. You
Uh,
cannot
you
spray your
want
hair.
to
I want to spray
you
my
want
hair
to do it.
green
You want,
or orange. This crazy kind of spraying, like ash color. But in nursing sciences, you can't do that. And you always have to keep your nails neat and short. But if I'm a programmer, I can do that and nobody will come and question me. After all, what they want is
uh,
for you to deliver.
okay. Okay, so basically what you are saying is you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, and also
Exactly.
you want to make money
Thank
by
you.
doing what makes you happy
I'm free.
while you live a baby girl's life.
Yes.
Be-
Oh, you're so on point. That's it. Another thing why I actually dived into coding is that I wanted a very good paying digital skill that I can, so that anywhere
okay.
I find myself in the world, at least I can survive. Even if I'm not practicing nothing, I can actually survive. I can survive out there. Once I have a computer and an internet, maybe I could make some cash for myself. So that's one of the reasons. I just wanted a kind of situation where once I'm coming out from school, I have multiple opportunities of employment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this probably will be one of the last questions. Um we both know that tech, it's right now it's male dominated.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a challenge because in tech, based on the fact that it is male dominated, or do you feel intimidated at some point
Hmm.
by it being the fact that it's mostly males?
Yes. Well, I sometimes I feel very intimidated, because in tech, once you're a girl and you have a guy that also codes, people will always want to go for the guy because they believe the guy so he can do better. That's one of the assumptions out there. They believe that since she's this girl waiting she's be, that kind of thing. So sometimes it's really, really challenging. You understand? But then when I look out there and I see people like Ada or Young, I see people like Adora, Gift Egwenu, and each and every one of those women that they're actually doing something in tech, making real impact.
Okay.
Yes, like
So it sort of gives you motivation.
yes, I'm very much motivated to like push through, even though men are actually dominating the tech sector. But then it doesn't mean that we women we don't stand a chance. Like it doesn't mean that we can't do it good. We can even do it better. Who knows? So
Is it's possible that the being in the midst of male sort of propels you to
exactly.
prove yourself that you're better
Yes,
than them, right?
yes. And another thing I want to point out is that the males that I've actually come in contact with have been, all of them have been so sweet. They've been so helpful. Like they always want to, show you, okay, this is how this one works. This is how this works. Example is my elder brother, even though he's not doing programming full time, but he was really, really helpful, even though we yab ourselves. Maybe when I did something that looks very funny. But then he was such a sweetheart. And then other guys in the group, in Food Clan group and Slack channel, even Sheyun, the grandfather, he has been so helpful. I swear, the guy has been really, really very helpful. He's such a sweet guy. He's always checking up on me and all. So I'm really, really thankful for being in the midst of amazing guys that are always willing to help. And I can't thank you enough to tell you, like, you've been so helpful.
All right. So on a final note now, what would be your advice to aspiring developers who wants to become a web developer? What would be your advice on how to dive into tech?
My advice on how to... Well, I don't have much experiences to come and start advising everybody based on do this and don't do that. But from my own little experience, well, I want you to know something, please. Programming is not easy. Don't mind every other person. It is not easy at all. I swear. It's not easy because imagine when you omit one semicolon, you will spend the whole day debugging and looking for what you omitted. But one thing is that in the midst of all these things, you just have to keep pushing through. Okay, Rome wasn't built.
So basically, they have to be consistent.
Very, very consistent. Very consistent. So that's it.
I see you are doing like a consistency challenge.
Yes, I am. I am actually.
Okay.
I'm doing this.
So what's it about? You try to write code every day?
Yes, like this 100 days of code kind of a thing. But my own is now consistency kind of a thing. Like I upload.
So which day? Which day are you currently?
Which day am I?
Yeah, consistency day 3, day 4.
Okay, I'm actually in day 26.
Wow, 26 days of code.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing your story with us on Code Clan Nigeria. Really appreciate you for helping us with your story. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here too. I'm really honored. Thanks.
Yeah. So I wish there was a gift that we give our guests over the I promise you have a medal for being the very first guest on the
show. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye.